before first pitch today. Well, a couple of them, in fact. Nick Davila has been calling from Arkansas. Also, Johnny Pareda. This is the one that we're kind of wondering more about. Simpson, who was up yesterday, optioned, and Wilson with a thumb injury placed on the injured list. Cal Raleigh, a somewhat late scratch prior to first pitch. He is on the roster. They have not made a move of any kind for the injured list, but he clearly, Val, is not healthy enough to catch. That's why Pareda is here.
Yeah, and we don't know exactly what that might be. Of course, we're hoping that it is nothing that's going to actually put him on the IL. This ball club just starting to get that middle part of the road of the batting lineup heating up. Cal with 5 home runs in his last 10 games. You don't like to see this.
Yeah, he has played in every game this year, so we will find out from Dan Wilson once the game is over what is happening with Cal, but there's been no announcement yet, no word from the Mariners. It's Emerson Hancock who is up on the mound. He's making his 7th start, and he continues to put together just a sensational beginning to this campaign. A sub-3 ERA.
Yeah, he's just been a fantastic surprise for Dan Wilson and the Mariners. That record at 2-1 with an ERA of 2.86. That whip is under 1. Here's a look at his arsenal: the 4-seam fastball, sinker, sweeper, a cutter, and a changeup.
Yeah, some real changes for Hancock. More 4-seamers and more of that sweeping slider as well, nearly a quarter of the time. For Matt Quatrero, the 4th-year skipper for the Kansas City Royals, they got their baby blues on tonight. It is Michael Garcia, an all-star from a year ago, coming off a career campaign. And then always a man in the MVP conversation, Bobby Witt Jr. Maybe off to a slow start in the home run department, but nothing else. One of the game's best. Salvador Perez always seems to hit Mariners pitching well. We'll see if that continues. We know this: there are plenty of left-handed bats in this lineup for Quatrero and the Kansas City Royals. We'll see how the Mariners deal with that. Well, because of the late scratch for Cal Raleigh, that means that Mitch Garver is in the lineup and doing the catching today. The outfield with Rosarena, Julio, and Raley left to right. So no matter what happens here tonight, this game will be talked about for why Cal Raleigh is out of the lineup. We will have to wait more than likely until once tonight's game is over to find out the answer to that. Here is the first pitch, and we are underway with the first pitch missing low and in at 96 from Emerson Hancock. Royals winning last night, a game they never trailed. Tonight, game 2 of this 3-game weekend series. Plenty of offense combined on both sides tonight ago. But Kansas City taking it 7-6 the final. That on the heels of what was a very successful road trip for the Mariners. A 5-1 trip to the Midwest. 2 balls and a strike.
We mentioned Emerson being a nice surprise early in the season here for the Mariners starting rotation.
Big bounder up the middle. Young lobs a throw to first base and times it well. And Garcia is out.
The ball just kind of floated out of his hand right here as he goes towards his backhand. He's got all that momentum going towards third base, but throws it over there and gives Naylor an opportunity to make a big stretch. Been playing some great defense. Cole Young has, leading all of the American League with defensive run saves at 9.
This is fair over to third off the bat of Wood, who got jammed a bit, and quickly 2 outs, both on the ground. Well, Hancock has been the definition of keeping you in the game. He has really limited the run so far this year, while also pitching deep into games. 4 quality starts in 6 starts overall this year. Throwing a lot of first pitch strikes and hardly walking anybody.
You know, and as a former catcher, that's one of the things I have loved about him in the early goings this year. You have to wonder, like, as you watch, you're a young pitcher watching Bird and Wu, guys that are throwing strikes. He's watching and going, hey, that works. And Emerson now is, as we saw right there, is just his 5th best and lowest walk rate at just 4.5%.
Working with Mitch Garver tonight. Now facing Vinny Pasquantino, left-handed hitting first baseman. One of 6 batters who will hit lefty tonight for the Royals when you include the switch hitting Isaac Collins.
No, I said Bird, I meant Kirby. I don't know how.
You trying to start a nickname up here? Pasquantino, who homered last night, lofts this over towards the corner and into the crowd.
I was just merely stating that those two guys throw a lot of strikes.
They do.
Don't walk a lot of people. Take pride in the fact that they throw strikes and they challenge hitters. That's exactly what we've seen from Hancock so far this season.
2 balls and 2 strikes. There's Bird.
And Bryce Miller. Bryce Miller's been going down on rehab assignments to Tacoma. So you do have to wonder for Hancock, every time out, Bryce Miller's not very far away probably. So each time out he's continuing to audition for that starting spot.
3-2. Strike 3 call. Locked him up. Side retired in order. How about this on the foul ball? Play the carom, celebrate a little bit, and then, hey man, way to go. Good vibes in the ballpark tonight all the way around. Get that man something to drink. I love that.
Tired of rising prices? Then you need to weigh your options. T-Mobile customers had the lowest wireless bills versus Verizon.
J.P. Crawford leading things off. Seth Lugo on the mound tonight for Kansas City. Lugo, the veteran, who's had a really strong start to this season despite coming off a rough one. In Lugo's last start, he gave up 7 earned runs to the Angels. He'd given up just 4 earned in total this season going into that start. Two balls and 1 strike to JP leading things off. On the ground over to second base. Massey a little bobble. Leadoff man sat down. How about the rest of that lineup? It looks a little bit different with Cal Raleigh being scratched. It moves Julio up to the number 2 spot. Naylor, Randy, and then Cole Young getting a bump. Probably the most notable thing in this lineup with no Cal Raleigh. Cole, who's been swinging a scorching hot bat, is up to the number 5 spot. And this is not the rhyme or the reason why you'd want to see Cole batting that high up, but you have kind of wondered a little bit with as much as he's been swinging it, would he continue to bat in that number 8 spot? Julio out to the gap in right center field, and it short hops the wall and goes over the fence on a bounce. Julio's got himself a stand-up double, and his extra base power continuing. A 1-out 2-base hit.
Yeah, in an interview just the other day, Julio was saying out loud, hey, I am at my best when I hit the ball all over the field. And this one, he jumps on that very first pitch from Lugo down and away. It was a pretty good pitch down and away. But this ball is driven a little 1-hop double over the wall, and Julio continues to stay red hot.
Here is Naylor with the man in scoring position right away. He looks at a strike.
Speaking of red hot, Mr. Naylor has really turned things around.
Well, so many of the big bats for the Mariners got off to a slow start. Really, Rosarena was the only guy, call it maybe 10 games or so into the season, that was swinging it for the Mariners, at least guys in the top half of the lineup, as Randy waits on deck. But things have started to turn for the Mariners on the offensive side. This ball into center field, right on top of the Randy 5. Here comes Julio on his way home, and he slides across safe. The Mariners have an earlier 1-0 lead.
Josh Naylor continues that hot hitting. This is a tough pitch. This is up, probably out of the strike zone. But he's able to get on top of it and hit that line drive right back through the middle. I wasn't sure if Julio was going to be sent because it was a one-hopper to the center fielder. But Julio gets a good jump, and with that speed, slides into home safely.
Naylor hitting close to 300 his last 18 games, to your point earlier. Gonna base it right away tonight to drive home the game's first run. Here's Randy. Two home runs for Rosarena this year, but he's been one of the best doubles hitters in the game so far this season. Two and one. On the ground, one hopper right back to Lugo. Throws to second, on to first. And it's in time for the double play. The former Gold Glover Seth Lugo starting the inning-ending double play, but the Mariners lead it thanks to Josh Naylor and Julio. Mariners TV is brought to you by Emerald Queen Casino. It's time to celebrate cool in the game. Come to Emerald Queen Casino May 23rd. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Got the Mariners TV drone flying high above T-Mobile Park tonight. A gorgeous night for baseball. Salvador Perez takes a sweeper for a strike. 6-game hitting streak for the veteran. DHing tonight. He's 9 home runs shy of matching George Brett for the most ever in Royals franchise history.
Wow. When I saw that note, I was like, what a career this guy has put together.
He's at 308 career home runs right now. He's driven in over 1,000 runs in his career. Over 1,700 hits. A 9-time All-Star.
Whenever I hear the name of George Brett, I think of probably the top that I competed against that you just could not get a fastball by him. During that year that he hit 390, I believe, he was just unbelievable. He literally was Edgar Martinez from the left side, foul line to foul line. Kansas City ballpark back then, and still is a very large area, so lots of balls going into the gaps down the line. But he was as good as they get.
Jammed him, fouls it back, ran a fastball in on him. In 1980, he hit 390. 24 homers, 33 doubles.
119 games, if I remember. Does that sound right?
Pretty darn close.
What was it?
At 117.
Okay.
I think that's close enough to call it a wash there. As that fastball was right over the dish, and Salvador Perez whiffs on it. Second straight strikeout for Hancock.
Hancock does a nice job of changing the eye level right here. The slider down and away on the pitch prior. He comes right back across at the top of the zone. Perez chasing it.
Here is the catcher of the future for the Kansas City Royals, Carter Jensen. As he fouls it away. We talked earlier about all the first pitch strikes for Hancock. It's among the best in the game. The low walk rate also among the best in the game. He's also pitching with some real kind of wipeout stuff this year, right? The velo is up, the swing and miss is up because of the sweeper. In talking with Emerson, it does lend to some greater conviction to, let's say, just go right after somebody. Wouldn't you think?
Absolutely. And again, we mentioned earlier, just watching Brian Wu do his thing out there, watching how he just goes after guys. He's got a sneaky fastball. He's got the two-seamer, the sinker that he throws 26% of the time. The four-seamer's at 34%. So he's throwing over 50% fastballs. But I think that secondary pitches have really elevated his fastball, because the opposing team, they just can't sit on a fastball because he's throwing strikes with the secondary pitches and he's coming right at you.
Here comes his 2-2. Jensen swings and misses. 3 straight punch outs. Emerson Hancock.
Now take a look at this cutter right here. It's looking like a fastball all the way to the very end. Painted right on that inside corner. Jensen swing through that for strike 3.
This is a Royals team about middle of the pack in terms of strikeouts and walks for that matter. A guy who will swing and miss is the man at the plate right now, Jack Caglione. There's that cutter again. Caglione, the former 6th overall pick back in 2024 out of Florida. Broke into the big leagues last year as a 22-year-old. And it did not go great. He played in just 62 games, hit 157. And you talk about all those strikeouts for Caglione. A lot of that is outside of the strike zone chasing. Well above league average in terms of expanding. Not that time though. 3-1.
Hancock really trying to work on that inside part of the plate with the cutter, the little 2-seam comebacker on the inside.
This finds a hole on the right side. A 2-out single, first base runner early on today for Kansas City. Mariners leading 1-0 on a Josh Naylor RBI single in the first inning. Here is Isaac Collins. Collins, a first-year Royal, acquired over the offseason by Kansas City from Milwaukee. Out towards left center. Randy to his left. He makes the catch for out number 3. A couple of scoreless innings in the books early for Emerson Hancock. Statcast powered by Google Cloud. We need a larger slab for the arsenal of Seth Lugo. 7 pitches. He even has more than that, but these are only the ones that he throws at least 5% of the time. I mean, Val, we are in a real era of the starting pitcher with 4 pitches is no longer a standard thing.
No, everybody's trying to shape new pitches, trying to find another pitch that they can get opposing hitters out with, and that's the perfect example of the kitchen sink, right?
This is pulled down the line, but pulled foul. Cole Young is up in the order. He's batting 5th tonight. That is up. Seeing Young in the number 8 spot. Kansas. Jensen off with the mask, and he gives way to Garcia, who puts it away. Leadoff man retired, and here comes Canzone. Obviously, not all the pitches that Lugos throws are all to righties or all to lefties. Right, he has some that are more favorable for righty and lefty hitters. If you are on one side of the plate or the other, I would imagine you start to eliminate some of these pitches so you don't go up there thinking about 9 different offerings that you could be seeing.
Yeah, I mean the Mariners have a list of how he's pitching and going after left-handed hitters, what pitches he likes to use when he's ahead in the count, what pitches he likes to use when he's behind in the count. And typically pitchers are going to feel more comfortable with certain pitches against the lefty. You know, it could be the cutter inside. They feel like they're not going to make as many mistakes. Or the changeup down and away if it's got that down and away movement. I mean, that's all part of the pregame plan that when they sit down and they go over the lineup.
Here's Luke Raley. He looks at ball 1. Now, Lugo has been so good this year at getting deep into games. Has pitched into the 7th inning nearly every single time this year. In 5 of his 6 starts, in fact. Raley, does he go? Yes, he does, as they appeal down to third.
You had mentioned that clunker that Lugo had in that last outing against the Angels. Gave up 14 hits. In the 5 starts before that, he only given up only 19.
A routine ground ball, and Lugo late to cover. Raley is able to beat it out. It took Pasquantino off the bag, was fielded by Massey, and Raley is safe.
Yeah, Lugo's caught being a fan right here. He's just watching the action. And right there, once that hesitation is there, there's no way they're going to get Raley at first base.
Even a veteran like Lugo, I mean, you wouldn't think that he would be susceptible to that.
And it doesn't take much, right? It's just that little bit of hesitation for him to be laid over there at first base.
Well, also credit to Raley, right? Not every guy's going to bust out of the box on a routine grounder like Raley just did.
But as soon as he recognized that the pitcher, it's a foot race.
Yes.
I'm hungry. I want to steal that hit. How about Mitch Garver? All day thinking, I'm going to not be playing here tonight. Late scratch by Cal Raleigh, and all of a sudden, boom, you're in the game.
Well, he shoots this on a line into center field. Works out for Garver. Meanwhile, Raley pedaling first to third, and the Mariners in business. They've got him on the corners with 2 outs.
I can tell you, Mitch Garver right now is feeling really good. Ripping this ball into left center field gap in his first at bat here after getting the late start. Mitch with a nice short compact stroke.
Hit that ball hard. Jensen out for a quick mound visit.
Yeah, seeing that late scratch, it reminded me of, it was a game, Pudge Rodriguez, I was backing Pudge up. First inning, he was always hit third, hit a ground ball, runs past, he's out at first. As soon as he stops running, he grabs his leg. I'm like, oh my gosh. No, don't do this to me, Pudge.
You don't have the day off anymore?
I did not have the day off, and I'm going to share something I shouldn't be sharing, but I was up in the locker room because I'd done all my work, having a hamburger.
What a surprise.
And the clubhouse kid runs up, he goes, Val, you're in the game. I'm like, what do you mean I'm in the game?
I wish I could have been on the broadcast. Here's Dave Valle with ketchup right there on his mouth. Looks like he just ate a hamburger.
Right. It was an absolute panic. Like, where's my gear? Put my cleats on. By the time I got out there, they were like waiting. Like, okay, let's go. Now, haven't even thrown since earlier on, probably 10 o'clock in the morning. I played catch. Kenny Lofton's the leadoff hitter. I'm going, please don't walk this guy. And he walks him. First pitch, he takes off. Stolen base.
2-1. Did you offer a throw at it, or did you intentionally drop it on the transfer?
I was a little late on the throw. A little late.
These were in the days of Val stealing money from the Texas Rangers as Pudge's backup.
But I tip my hat to Mitch, though. You got to find your game face, put it on, and boy, he's right up in there in that first at bat, putting a good swing on that ball.
Two outs and 2 on. Top of the lineup is next. It is outside. Rivas draws the walk. It all started with that infield base hit from Luke Raley when Lugo didn't cover, and now all of a sudden the Mariners have him loaded up.
It's a great example that you always hear all the time. Do not give the opposing team extra outs. And the Royals started this inning off by allowing Luke Raley on a pretty routine ground ball to get a base hit.
Bases loaded, 2 down for Crawford. Backs him up. Now, Lugo not a hard thrower. 92 is his average fastball. But he can really change speeds. That curveball in the mid-70s. JP behind 1-2.
JP with 6 grand slams, along with 2 in the last season. That's a lot of grand slams, by the way.
That's not nothing.
Not for a guy that's really not a quote-unquote home run hitter.
Well, JP has been so good in his career in these kinds of situations. Two outs, 2 balls, and 2 strikes. Strike 3 called. A cutter on the outer corner. Paint by Lugo. And he leaves him loaded. Tonight's Randy Johnson number retirement ceremony presented by T-Mobile, America's best network. There it is, the newest addition to T-Mobile Park, the 4th Mariner to have his number retired.
You know, right before they pulled that up, I was thinking, I wonder if it's gonna say big unit instead of Johnson. You thought about that too, didn't you? Like there was a remote possibility.
I can't say that I did, Val. But it wouldn't have been a terrible idea. Here's Michael Massey leading things off. Mariners are leading 1-0. 8-9-1 due up for the Royals here in the 3rd. Okay, so we were talking about Garver and his late adjustment to finding out that he'd be starting today. Do you think for a catcher, is it more of a scramble to get ready to hit and have 4 at-bats, or more of a scramble to get your body ready to catch and whatever one-on-one has to be done with the pitcher?
Well, I think the mental preparation has already been put in, because he's going to be in the hitting meeting, then he's going to be in the pitching meeting, so he knows exactly what Hancock was planning on trying to do and how to, you know, navigate his way through this Royal lineup. So the mental part was there, but I think it's more like the physical, like, man, I got to get it ready. Where's my bats? See this little 2-seamer running away. Great location. And that's the one thing I think is so impressive about the game today is the preparation that goes in every single day. I think back when I played, it was like maybe a 5-minute conversation as you're looking at the lineup. But now they've got video and they're talking about percentages, and this is what this guy's done in this situation. And from a hitting standpoint as well.
Isbell fouls it back, 1 ball and 1 strike.
But the one caveat that I will say is, because Mitch Garver is a veteran, mentally he's not going to be panicked. Like, okay, great. Okay, I'm going to be ready to compete out there. I'll be ready for my first at-bat. And we've seen Mitch for a couple of years. He has such an incredible idea of the strike zone. Very confident hitter. Does a really nice job calling the game as well.
One out, nobody on. Isbell, a ground ball, and it's right past Naylor and into right field. Isbell the turn on his way to second, and it was an inch shy of being out number 2. Instead, it's a stand-up double. Back to the top of the order. As part of the Mariners 50 season celebration, you can score commemorative pins all year thanks to KeyBank. The next one on deck is 80s Pins Day tomorrow. It's a 1:10 first pitch. It's the special Kingdom edition. Speaking of Randy, check out the complete pin lineup. You can lock in your seats at mariners.com/pins.
The good old dome.
Come a long way. Garcia is able to flip this fair. Fair by a couple of feet down the line. Man, you talk about a game of inches. The last 2 balls in play. on back-to-back pitches. One down the right field line, this one out to left, and this game is all tied up.
Well, we've seen this Royal lineup be ready to swing on the first pitches. This is a good location, down and away, just touching that outside corner. He hits that ball as he's out in front.
So a double to right, a double to left, and all tied.
Bobby Witt swung on that first pitch in his first at bat, ground ball to third. So we were just talking about hitting meetings, right? They said, hey, this guy throws a lot of first pitch strikes.
Yes.
He doesn't walk people. So if you're a hitter, you're going up there thinking, okay, I'm going to get some strikes and I'm going to put some good swings on something in the zone.
Now, Hancock said that first pitch strikes have always been a priority for him, but he feels like he really kind of doubled down on that coming into this season. And he has been one of the best first pitch strike throwers in the game so far this year. He's ahead of Witt, 0-2. Witt not an especially easy hitter to strike out. A lot of doubles, a lot of stolen bases early on this year for the Royals all-star shortstop. Raley to his left near the line. He puts that away for out number 2. Now a message from Hyundai.
A car that sees what you can't, how it should be. The Hyundai Tucson.
Here's Pasquantino. He homered last night. Royals were happy to have Pasquantino back at the lineup. He missed a few games with some lower back tightness. Runners in scoring position has been a problem for Pasquantino this year, and for the Royals for that matter. They have, however, generated a lot of opportunities for themselves. They're just on the outside of the top 10 in terms of plate appearances with runners in scoring position. They've got one here. They throw back to keep an eye on Garcia. JP having some fun with him.
You take a look at their rankings offensively, right? They're #1 in runs per game at 6.2. Slugging percentage, they're first. OPS, they're first. Extra base hits, they're first. But yet, when it comes to situations like runners in scoring position, they have not been as good.
It's 1-2 now on Pasquantino, with Garcia the go-ahead run out there at second base. Shoots this down the line, foul. Pasquantino is tied for 4th in baseball this year in terms of plate appearances with runners in scoring position. He has had a lot of chances. He gets one here, and he gets caught looking for the second straight time up, facing Emerson Hancock. He strands that double at second. This game is tied on our way to the home half of the 3rd. Big bats coming up. Julio, Naylor, and then Arozarena.
Without
the insurance you get brought to you by Pimco Insurance. Julio last 11 games hitting close to 380. 3 homers too, of course, last night. OPSing over 1,000 and 6 multi-hit games his last 11 times out. Julio trending in the right direction. He doubled and scored back in the first inning. Shoots this out to right field again, but it finds Caglione. One pitch and one away.
Still got to like that approach from Julio, though. Pitch on the outside part of the plate, still goes with it. This time it's just a little atom ball out there to right.
One down for Josh Naylor. Naylor has driven in the lone Mariners run early. Squaring to bunt with Garcia far off the bag. And Josh having some fun with our home plate umpire, Trip Gibson. Say, did you really think I was going to bunt right there?
Josh is, I mean, Naylor is full of surprises.
Yes.
Don't you think?
Oh, there's no doubt.
I mean, last year.
Previous pitch was called a strike. The hitter is checked.
Well, Josh challenging this. How close was it?
Pitch is confirmed. It's a strike. Seattle has one challenge remaining.
Josh is wanting his own microphone. You know, catchers remain the best at.
Clearly.
Yeah. Why don't I let you handle this? You can take the top line item. I'll deal with the other ones.
But it does make sense, though, right? Catchers have the best view.
Of course.
You know, pitchers, they're trying to finish off a pitch. They're not seeing the tightness around the corners. And batters, you know, all batters think they have a better eye than they actually do.
I'm sensing extreme bias here with every word you say. Strike three called, and Josh wants to challenge
Pitch
again.
is called a strike. The hitter is challenged.
Well, no hesitation for Naylor, even though he just lost the Mariners challenge.
Pitch is overturned. It is a ball.
Very close. And Naylor wins.
Let's see if he says anything to the umpire now. Yep, he does. You see, I told you.
Well, you can tell Trip Gibson is having fun with Naylor as well. On a 1-2. That spins in and misses. 70-mile-an-hour slurve. That slider curveball hybrid pitch from Lugo.
Lugo's a bit of a throwback, right? Doesn't throw hard, throws all types of pitches, different movements.
Lugo had a real career season 2 years ago. He was the Cy Young runner-up and all-star, won the Gold Glove, threw over 200 innings. This ball is gobbled up by Pasquantino, who circles around to the bag. 2 outs. Speaking of Josh Naylor, May 18th and 19th, the White Sox are here. It's a 2-day Josh Naylor bobblehead giveaway. You've got 2 chances to snag Naylor's first bobblehead as a Mariner, thanks to Western Washington Toyota dealers. Mariners.com/tickets. Two down, and here's a Rosarena. Speaking of throwbacks, you gotta love these powder blue unis for the Royals, huh? These are sweet.
It does remind you of the George Brett 80s.
Yeah, talking about Brett earlier. 0-2.
You do know that the Mariners had powder blues back in the day.
Those are good looking too. It's, I mean, is there a bad powder blue? Has that ever happened?
Sense a little blue bias here.
68-mile-an-hour slurve, and it really fooled with Randy's timing. Lugo retires his side in order.
PG.
Well, tonight the Mariners retiring Randy Johnson's number 51. These big unit accolades presented by T-Mobile. 266 starts, 130 wins, a 3.42 ERA.
And how about the complete games?
I mean,
51.
That's the thing, right? How fitting, by the way. 51 CGs. And I don't think there were too many Maddoxes mixed in with those 51 complete games.
No.
That wasn't exactly Randy's style. And the sweeper gets a swing and a miss from Perez.
It'd be interesting to see what his average pitch count was per game. Because I know tonight he mentioned, you know, the game that he struck out 18, he threw 160. Yes, I just said 160 pitches. But there were so many different nights that I remember him throwing 140, going into 8th or 9th inning. I mean, it was just kind of par for the course.
Nothing like that ever again. Now that had some pretty filthy movement. And Salvador Perez fouls that right off his hands. Let's take a look at this pitch.
A little backup slider. You see that ball never really does cut across the plate. He recognizes the spin. He starts to swing, and that ball just stays straight in, right on his hands.
Well, the sweeper more where Hancock wanted it. He's already at 6 strikeouts.
You mentioned all the different secondary pitches that he is throwing for strikes. There he makes the adjustment, same pitch, but he gets that release point out in front. And he gets Sal Perez out in front on his front foot, sweeping at the sweeper.
If we go back as Jensen climbs in here to that backup slider that we watched on replay, in the replay you wonder, well, why in the world does Perez even swing at this pitch, right? It's almost a foot in off the plate, but as he's reading spin, is he thinking it's coming in at me and it will finish elsewhere?
Exactly, and that's why it's such a difficult pitch. And it's not a pitch that a pitcher says, hey, I'm going to throw a backup slider on this slider.
Right.
It's just a slider that doesn't actually work. Typically because your release point is not out in front. It's a little bit early. But you saw him make that adjustment, which I love to see. In-game adjustment from a pitcher from one pitch to the next.
Still 0-2 on Carter Jensen, young catcher for the Royals. Oh, 2. Jensen struck out on a cutter back in the second. Off to a nice start offensively this year. 1 out, nobody on for this 2-2. He put him away. A high fastball up and out of the zone. 7 strikeouts for Emerson Hancock.
Right before this pitch is thrown, Mitch Garver's patting the dirt on the outside part of the plate. And he comes in with that fastball up and in, out of the strike zone, and they get Jensen in the chase. But take a look right there. The hitter can hear this. Mitch is doing this on purpose. Maybe the hitter's thinking, okay, he wants it down. It's going to be another one of those breaking balls. But he ends up placing that fastball exactly where he wanted it.
A little veteran savvy there. Seven strikeouts for Emerson Hancock. He's already 2 shy of his career best. He struck out 9 earlier this year against the Guardians. Is 0-2.
See if he goes with that fastball again right across the top of the zone.
He tried it just a little bit high, and Caglione resists going after it. So a full count. Not many 3-ball counts tonight for Emerson Hancock. 3-2. He put him away. He spun him into the ground. Emerson Hancock strikes out the side in order. 8 punch-outs through 4 innings. Bad. Well, it's not too late to come on board with the Mariners Flex membership. You can choose your games and seats as you go. Save 10% or more on tickets with no fees and lock in priority postseason access. Sign up for the most fan-friendly season ticket plan in baseball. Mariners.com/flex. Cole Young leading things off. Cole has never hit higher than 7th in the order in his young major league career until tonight, as he lofts this down the line. Caglione chases after it, but it finds the crowd.
Yeah, earlier you made a little mention of that. For a young player like Cole Young, he's gotten off to a nice start, and you get a sense that he's comfortable hitting in that 8th hole. So you don't really want to rock the boat or change things up too much on him. As a young player, you just want to let him continue to develop. But tonight, because of the late scratch by Cal Raleigh, he gets moved up into the lineup.
And we've not been told why Cal was scratched from the game tonight. Under 70 miles an hour again from Lugo. We've seen him as low as 68. Much different look up on the mound tonight for Kansas City. 0-2. From 68 or 69 to 91. Goes diving after that changeup, and the strikeout completed with a throw to first base. Now a message from Jack in the Box.
Get my new Smash Jack Sliders Munchie Meal for a chance to win $75,000.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
1 down. 3rd strikeout for Lugo. Here's Canzone. Lugo calling some of his own pitches. Got the pitch comm on his hip. Tell you what, if I was the catcher, you tell me, Val, I wouldn't want to be keeping track of all this. I mean, you get a lot of shakes if you're working with Lugo on those 9 pitches that he's offering.
Those veteran guys, they think they know what they're doing, right?
Pitchers again. You know, last year I did talk to Salvador Perez when the Mariners faced Lugo, and I asked him, I said, how do you do this, even with the pitch comm? And he said, a sweeper, a slider, it's all the same pitch. Just put sweeper.
Just the new name for the same old thing.
His point was, I know the vicinity of where it's going to be. I'll be fine. Rayleigh skies, he almost had the same tone in his voice talking about pitchers as you do.
I have total respect for pitchers. Complete.
Just let me call the game. I'll take you home. That ends the inning after 4. Mariners and the Royals tied up.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Tonight's Western Washington Toyota pitching matchup. Now both guys going 4 innings, 1 run on each side. Hancock 8 strikeouts, 1 shy of matching a career best.
Good things happen when you throw strikes.
Well, this strike is laced into left field as Randy cuts it off, and Isaac Collins is aboard. He swung at the first pitch both times. Flew out earlier, this time a single. Tonight's Home Depot working on a win. as we honor Randy Johnson tonight. The Mariners retiring his number 51. We look at career innings catching, the great big unit. Of course, Mariners manager Dan Wilson leading the charge. There's Randy, probably talking about all those innings that Dave Valley was putting the fingers down.
Well, can I just let me state something though? I had the hard Randy.
This bunt is foul. Explain.
I caught him his first 5 years, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93. Now 93, if you take a look at his stats, is when he turned the corner. So when Willie came and when I left for free agency, Randy was throwing strikes then. It was easy. When I was catching him, I joke with Danny all the time. I was like, I had the rough day at the office.
You were riding the Bronco back then.
It was. That's a good way to describe it. Because nothing was soft from Randy Johnson. Everything was about 100, 102 miles an hour. I started creating equipment to protect myself.
You created equipment?
Yes, like sliders down in the dirt. Now imagine getting a slider from Randy at 95 miles an hour right on your inside of your wrist, and there's no padding there. How do you think that fits? It's painful. I mean, it feels like you just broke your arm.
Massey bunts this foul again, 0-2. All right, so are you in your garage creating this stuff? Are you in the clubhouse? What are you doing?
What am I going to do to protect myself? So I started taping my wrists, and then I put one sweatband on it, and then a second sweatband, and sometimes three. And then I finally asked the sweatband company, can you make a protective plastic here that I can turn it around so if it does hit me there, then don't feel like I broke my wrist. My left finger, index finger, still doesn't have any sense of feeling. All the nerves are dead. All these nerves are dead. As soon as it starts getting cold outside, it turns blue.
Are you being for real?
From ice. True story. This is true. There's some pain. You know, catching's not easy.
I'm squeezing really hard.
I don't feel anything.
He put him away. It's another strikeout, a career-high tying 9th strikeout from Emerson Hancock.
This has been a pitch that has been so effective for him. That fastball just above the strike zone. Kansas City Royals continue to chase that one right out of the upper edge.
Isbell almost picks off our first base umpire. Watch out there, Vondrak.
So let me take you back to a game I caught Randy in Toronto. I come out there after the first inning. We make the first 3 outs. I get back there, and Ken Kaiser's the umpire. And he sees me, and he goes, hey, what's up? I'm like, hey, how you doing? He goes, man, you got the easiest job today. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, anybody can call a game for Randy Johnson. He goes, in fact, let me do it. He's an umpire. I said, okay. Because I know if he calls a pitch and it's close, he's going to want to do it to prove his point.
Very nice, yes.
So he gets back there. I get down on my squat, and he leans forward. And he says, fastball.
Is this a true? Are you telling me the truth?
I'm telling you the true story.
Okay.
So then he leans down again and says, slider. So I'm getting pitches that far off that side of the plate, that far off that side of the plate. We go 3 innings. Randy, I think, had given up 1 hit, and he's like, you see how easy it is? Now take it the rest of the way. I'm like, I don't know, Ken. I kind of like this. I don't have to think back here. It could never be done in today's game, but back then umpires were a little rogue, so to speak.
Hancock on a 1-2. Swing and a miss. A 10 strikeout night for Emerson Hancock, a new career high.
That fastball has a little bit extra on it right here. Again, that fastball above the strike zone. And the Royals continue to chase that one. And Isbell goes down for strike 3.
Not only 10 strikeouts, but 10 strikeouts before 5 innings is even up. Garcia rattles this one foul.
Hancock's fastball has been consistently at 95 with movement. Royals continue to swing early in the count.
Oh, 2 on Garcia. RBI double last time up for Garcia. The only run driven in so far for Kansas City. Here comes the 0-2.
Garver calling that sweeper, trying to get him to fish something off the plate.
Hancock fires. Overcooks that one a little bit. He has struck out at least one batter every inning. He struck out the side in order in the 4th. Two. Naylor, Garver, and this ball is just into the Mariners dugout right there by Perry Hill. What are the 6 F's there, Bone? What do we got?
And Naylor having come a long way to get to that one.
Two. Swing and a miss. On a night where the Mariners honor the great Randy Johnson, Emerson Hancock paying homage to one of the all-timers. 11 strikeouts in 5 dazzling innings. All tied, moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. Randy being honored in between innings. Mitch Garver leading things off. Garver a base hit his last time up, a single into center field. And we were talking about the ABS system and catchers winning challenges at a higher rate than hitters and at a higher rate than pitchers. And talking to Garver about this on the last road trip, because Garver's been exceptional with the ABS challenges as a catcher. He said he does feel more comfortable challenging as a catcher than as a hitter, simply because of his perspective there behind home plate.
And think of this, he has one of the best eyes in the game of baseball. Now, I've watched him when he was down in Texas, since he's been here in Seattle. Very quiet, calm at the plate. So if he feels like it's a big difference, you know it is.
3-2. A cutter puts Garver away. 1 out, 4th strikeout for Lugo. Mariners TV is brought to you by the Washington Traffic Safety Commission. Before you drive, put your phone out of reach and stay focused on the road. And by Washington Trust Bank, privately owned and locally invested since 1902. Here's Leo Rivas. Yeah, Mitch made it sound like he brought up an interesting point about how the strike zone as a hitter can change a little bit depending on where you're setting up, and if that somehow changes even inadvertently. And he spoke especially about the lower outside corner as a hitter versus when you're catching, you're right there, you're right behind home plate. It's not moving, you're not hardly moving much at all where you're setting up, especially Mariners catchers who set up normally dead red every time.
Right.
And he said that lower outside corner as a hitter is one of the more challenging spots, I imagine, for most guys, not just Mitch Garver. But when he's catching, he feels like he's got a great grasp of that. I mean, after all, he's right by the plate.
But just think of the angle, right, as a hitter.
This ball is laced to right field. Caglione plays it on a short hop, and it skips away from him. And Rivas quickly retreating, and now in no man's land, but he gets away from it on a poor throw by Caglione. Rivas aboard for the second time.
Yeah, he rips a little short hopper right there. Goes in the glove, but plays a little bit of highlight with it. Rivas was thinking about going to second. Makes a good decision going back to the bag.
Top of the order, Crawford for the third time. Rivas dives back in. One ball and one strike. On the ground with some eyes, and it sneaks into left field. JP aboard.
That's a beautiful thing as a hitter. This ball in off the hands of JP, not hit very hard, but it's hit in the perfect spot as it slowly gets through that infield for a base hit and just past the diving reach of Bobby Witt Jr.
He needed like a more of a wicker basket kind of glove there. Bobby Witt did. First and second. Here's Julio, takes inside. Two home runs last night for Julio. This one on the ground, foul.
Julio with 4 RBIs last night, looking to put the Mariners ahead right here.
Behind 1-2.
You know, when you see a hitter be a little bit late like Julio was right there on a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, it tells you that the pitcher's got him thinking about the secondary pitches. Because if Julio's looking fastball, he's not going to throw, he's not going to be late on that swing. But Lugo's done a nice job of throwing his secondary pitches for strikes.
And curveball missing down and in 2-2. 9 different pitches from Lugo. Next pitch to Julio. Hard hit ground ball. Witt smothers, and he can't get a throw off, and everybody's safe. A tremendous effort by Bobby Witt Jr. to get to it and save a run for the Royals. 106 off the bat.
This ball is hit right on the button. Another breaking ball from Lugo. Bobby Witt Jr. Gold Glover over there at shortstop makes a great diving grab, but on the transfer that ball slips out.
Here is Josh Naylor. 1 out and the base is loaded. Second time the M's have had him loaded up against Lugo. Could not cash in the first time. Naylor trying to bust this one open a little bit in the 5th inning. And was geared up, pulls that sweeper foul.
Naylor coming into the game over his last 14 games hitting .390. Started today off with the base hit RBI earlier in the game, driving in Julio for the first run for the Mariners. guy you want to have up right now.
This ball gets into the crowd, 0-2. What's Lugo going to throw this time? Bags packed. The 0-2. Goes with that curve. He has thrown a curveball, a slow curveball, and a slurve.
Like Sal Perez said, it's all the same.
It's all the same. He'll do it again. We talk about how he doesn't throw very hard, 92 miles an hour, but when you're seeing 68, 92, I imagine looks like 100.
Like 100, absolutely. Here's a look at what he's been featuring out there tonight. 9 pitches.
Runners all around, 1 away. The 1-2. It gets away. Here comes Rivas. Throw home. He scores. He's safe. And the Mariners take the lead.
What a great read by Rivas. When you're only 90 feet away, there's a lot of different ways to score. Take a look how quickly he takes off. Once he sees that ball go to the right of the catcher, Jensen, Rivas doesn't even have to slide to put the Mariners ahead right here.
Now the infield comes in with a 1-out, second and third. Trying to cut down a play at the plate. Crawford, the runner at third base. Julio Speed at second. And time called by Naylor. Swing and a miss, and Naylor, like we have really never seen him before, just smashes his bat right by home plate after the strikeout.
Yeah, Lugo just refusing to throw him anything straight. Another breaking ball as Naylor gets out in front.
Now, Naylor definitely an emotional player, but we haven't seen that from him. Ball high, ball 1 to Arozarena. 5th strikeout from Lugo tonight. Infield backs up now with 2 outs, second and third. Pretty close, good take down and away. Wow. That really bent in and just clips the edge. We're having some technical issues with our strike zone graphic on the screen. We apologize for that. 3-1.
Randy just behind Julio Rodriguez in hits this season.
Julio at second, Crawford at third as time is called. He had sat down 8 in a row before that Rivas single that's opened things up here a little bit in the 5th. A chance to enhance the lead. Instead, he gets a piece and fouls it away. 3-2. Next one coming to Randy, way outside. He draws a walk, and the Mariners have the bases loaded again off of Lugo. Well, it's the 3rd time that Lugo has loaded the bases, and the Mariners are trying to finally make him pay a big price for it.
The Adams are looking for that one big hit right here to break it wide open. Cole Young getting ready over in the on-deck circle. Lugo now with 84 pitches on the night.
Tremendous numbers with runners in scoring position this year. Goes after the first pitch and fouls it back. Got a sweeper right over the plate.
You know, I think Cole would like to have that one back. That sweeper stayed elevated.
Cole Young has never hit a grand slam before.
The next pitch will be number 33 for Lugo.
A long inning for the Royals starter. 0-2. To Young.
So the last three pitches was a curveball at 70, a fastball at 90, and that last pitch was at 81 miles an hour. Talk about change of speeds, trying to keep hitters off balance. Lugo trying to do everything he can to get out of this one.
Sprays that fastball a little bit. 2-2. Young up in the order today with the scratch of Cal Raleigh, and the game finds him with the bases loaded in the 5th inning. 2-2. All right. Well, full count with the bags packed. Oh no, did he lose track of the count?
He did.
He lost track of the count, and Randy is out. And here comes Dan.
They should get interference right here. He threw the ball. We'll get another look at it, but as soon as he threw the ball, Randy Arozarena did what he could only do to get out of it, was make contact with the fielder. That's what Randy was talking to the umpire about. Now the only thing that could be is if the umpire felt that he got out of the base path to try to make the contact.
So Randy's at first base. This is ball 3. Randy thinks it's ball 4.
So watch Arozarena right here. He's waiting till Pasquantino throws it. As soon as he throws it, there's contact made. Doesn't look like he gets out of the baseline.
Well, the umpires rule that the final out, and a huge chance blown by the Mariners. Well, we're underway in the 6th inning, a 1-0 count to Bobby Witt Jr., who hits a hard grounder up the middle and into center field, and the Royals would have some speed at first base and the tie-in run aboard. A 13-game on-base streak for Bobby Witt Jr. A pretty wild ending to the bottom of the 5th with the Arozarena out on the base paths, and Dan Wilson coming out to, we assume, argue interference on Pasquantino, but to no avail. Here is the Royals first baseman. He squares to bunt and drops it down. Foul. Rivas is way off the bag at third.
A little surprising right there. Then you look at Pasquantino's numbers for the season, coming into today hitting only 176.
Hit hard into center field. Witt is staying put as Julio makes a strong throw in. So Witt at second, Pasquantino at first, back-to-back singles.
After trying the bunt, Pasquantino gets a fastball on the outside corner. Hits it right on the button.
Third time through the order, the heart of the order now for Kansas City. And here is Salvador Perez. Now Perez has had some pretty funky looking swings on that sweeper in particular from Hancock, but we know the power that he has. Fouls back that sinker for strike one. Bizzardo just starting to warm up now for Dan Wilson. He would love to see his starter be able to get through 6, but the Royals threatening now. No throw as Witt able to get back to the bag with a dive. Well, there's that sweeper again. It has really given Perez fits tonight.
That last one had a little bit of a floating action to it. The other ones that we have seen have a more of a downward action. This one came straight across.
Swing and a miss. He goes fishing after that Emerson Hancock sweeper again, and the career night continues. 12 strikeouts for Emerson Hancock.
Boy, his secondary pitches have been so good here tonight. Starts off on the middle part of the plate. A little bit slower. He gets him out on that front foot, and all he can do is wave at it.
No starting pitcher this year has struck out more Royals in a game than Emerson Hancock now. 12 punch outs. Carter Jensen the batter. Will Warren struck out 11 Royals back in mid-April. The Yankees starting pitcher. He is the only other starting pitcher this year with double-digit strikeouts against Kansas City. Oh, 2.
Last two pitches right across the zone. It's again a very effective pitch for Hancock here tonight. Let's see if he pulls the string on him with the sweeper. Change the eye elevation. Hancock pretty consistent all the way through this ball game in each inning.
And pitch count's in pretty good shape when you consider all the strikeouts. His 0-2. Fly ball, gap, right center. Julio chasing, and he's there to make the catch for out number 2. Pasquantino back to first, Witt into third. Julio covering a lot of ground and a huge second out.
Yeah, this ball gets in on Jensen just enough that he can't get that good extension. Julio with a great jump runs this one down easily. Bobby Witt tagging up at second base and moving on over to third.
Pete Woodworth out for a visit. You know, interesting that Bizzardo is up. Of course, the Mariners without Matt Brash now for the foreseeable future on the injured list. It is a row of lefties by and large, with the switch hitting Collins mixed in there in the bottom half of the order. Mariners only have 2 lefties in their bullpen. Ferrer worked last night. Spire had that really taxing outing, 30 pitches on a Wednesday. I wonder what their status might be, and it maybe puts a little more question as to if they are available or not, given the fact we don't see either of them up right now in a kind of a pivot role situation here where you got lefties coming up in a 1-run lead. Here's Caglione, the power lefty. A single and a strikeout. Broken bat right to Hancock. Hats off to Emerson Hancock. A career performance. 6 innings and twice as many strikeouts. What a night for Emerson Hancock. May 16th, the Mariners celebrate Salute to Armed Forces Night as part of the festivities. The first 10,000 fans will take home the special Army Green Mariners cap thanks to Boeing. Mariners.com/tickets. It was Cole Young left at the plate when the 5th inning concluded abruptly. He leads things off in the 6th. That is perfectly placed. Man, that breaking ball lands on the outer edge. One, two. Hit hard off of Pasquantino's glove. That was a rocket on one sharp hop. And Young is aboard out of the Ford Sports Desk. Angie, what can you tell us?
Well, Cole Young got to pick up that at-bat. Now leads this inning off with a base hit. But going back to last inning and the obstruction call, or should I say lack of obstruction call on Randy Arozarena, they updated the rules earlier this year going into spring training that runners are now prohibited from intentionally initiating contact with fielders simply to draw an obstruction call. You used to be able to get away with it. I talked to EY, the first base coach. I said, is that what your read on it as well? And he said, yeah. So this is just proof, guys, that I didn't sleep all the way through those MLB rule update phone calls.
Yeah, you could tell once the second base umpire made that call pretty definitively, despite clear contact between Randy and Pasquantino. That was a judgment call on his part that Randy was basically setting up that running into Pasquantino between first and second base.
Can I say something? I disagree.
Okay.
I think it was interference. I don't think Randy didn't go out of his way. He stayed in the
line
in the base path that he created, and Pasquantino got in his way. He obstructed him.
Oh my goodness, that's some tough luck right there, man. And for one rocket that went off of Pasquantino's glove, this one at 109 finds the leather and turns into double play.
A couple of balls just hit right on the screws, right to Pasquantino, and not a lot Cole Young can do right there. He barely took one step.
Yeah, because what you're saying is, well, what else is Randy going to do? Right.
Yeah, he's waiting for the fielder to throw the ball and then run back towards first base. Now, if Pasquantino's in his way and he makes contact, then that should be obstruction, interference. Because you saw Pasquantino kind of jumping back with his hands back, but he got caught. Typically, you throw the ball and you get out of the way. He threw the ball and continued moving forward towards Arozarena. But of course, it shouldn't have happened.
I was about to say,
you know,
all took place because Randy forgot the count. That does it for Lugo and the Mariners here in the 6th. Lugo allowing just the 2 runs over 6 innings, of the Mariners have the lead on a gorgeous night in Seattle. Tonight, Chevy Silverado drive of the game. All 12 of Emerson Hancock's strikeouts so far, a new career high.
And he used all of his pitches here tonight, but that 4-seam fastball right across the top of the zone was a pitch that the Royals could not lay off of and could not make contact with.
Well, this man at the plate, Isaac Collins, is one of only 2 Royals batters to not strike out tonight, with Witt being the other. 0-2. Well, Dan's bullpen is still up. Bizzardo's been warming for a while now. 91 pitches for Emerson Hancock. Oh, 2. Just got a piece.
This will probably be Hancock's last inning. That pitch count now at 93.
You can add another one. 13 strikeouts, Emerson Hancock. It just continues.
What a great pitch this has been for him tonight. The sweeper starting it off the plate. Gets him again out in front. That sweeper. It's like pulling the string on a breaking ball. With that location, once he got him, Collins going. Could not keep up with it.
Very topical with the big unit in the house tonight. 13 strikeouts for Emerson Hancock.
Randy was talking about his 18 strikeout game, and he said, yeah, well, you guys tried doing that here tonight. He's creeping up on you, Randy. And doing it a little bit more efficiently too on his pitch count. Only 96 pitches with those 13 punch outs.
That bends in for a strike. It's been more than just a chase pitch tonight, right? That sweeper. It's obviously he's been able to land it for a strike as well.
Well, clearly he's shown the confidence in it. He's thrown it to start hitters off with it. He's thrown it to finish pitchers off with it.
.98 pitches, 13 strikeouts. Hancock's 2-2. Oh, he just threw him a pair of handcuffs. Emerson Hancock, strikeout number 14. Rack him up.
Surprise, surprise, another sweeper right here at 76 miles an hour. And all he could do is just wave at it as he swings right over the top. Boy, it's been an effective pitch. It becomes effective too, Aaron, when you can throw something hard across the top of the zone and you're changing the eye level of the hitter.
Strike one is Bell. We talk about a guy in the zone right now. He has got it cooking. 100 pitches. 2 outs in the 7th. Is 1-1. Makes it 1-2. Can he finish it with strikeout number 15? This crowd knows what is at stake here and rises to its feet.
Will it be the sweeper one more time?
1-2. Soft pop. Short left. Rivas puts it away. 7 innings. Emerson Hancock. It's the kind of night you can't even dream up in your backyard in Georgia, Emerson. 14 strikeouts. 1 run. 7 innings. Brilliant work by Emerson Hancock. Get him. I feel like the crowd knew the answer to this one before the game started. 2 of the greats in franchise history, Rick Riz and the big unit. 7th inning stretch. Mitch Garver getting set to lead things off, and looks like the Royals skipper Matt Quatrero is talking things over with our home plate umpire about something. Whatever it is, it was short-lived. Luinder Avila is the new pitcher, 24-year-old out of Venezuela.
Yeah, Avila's got 7 innings pitched, 7 earned runs, 8 strikeouts, and 4 walks.
Only his 17th ever major league appearance, debuted last year. And Garver looks at a first pitch strike.
Avila features a 4-seamer, a sinker, a curveball, slider, and change.
Well, the Mariners would love to play a little add-on. Their 2 runs have come on a Naylor Ribby single in the first and a wild pitch scoring Rivas in the 5th. 1-2.
Mariners this evening are 2 for 4 with runners in scoring position.
And how many chances against Lugo, who works another quality start tonight. This is a rare performance tonight from the Royal starter Seth Lugo, where he does not pitch into the 7th. He had done that in every start but 1 so far this year. 2-2. 98. Fouled away. Strike 3 called. 98-mile-an-hour fastball locks up Garver. Now a message from Papa Murphy's.
Turn your kitchen into a fiesta with Papa Murphy's Taco Grande Pizza, loaded with chicken or beef. Don't miss out on the Taco Grande. Order now at papamurphys.com.
Upstairs, ball 1 to Leo Rivas. Top of the order is next. Soft fly ball left field. It kind of froze Collins for a moment, but he had plenty of time to recover. Two outs, nobody on. J.P. Crawford, 1 for 3 tonight. Gas again at 98. And this is a Royals bullpen that has had its struggles this year, despite not having to work a lot of innings because their rotation has logged so many. This is a bullpen that is 28th in ERA. They've walked a lot of guys. Off the mound, it finds Witt. Avila out of the bullpen, retires the side in order. We move on to the 8th inning. Mariners by a run.
Operated telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners.
Hancock going 7 innings, Val, 14 strikeouts without issuing a walk.
It was a pitching duel here tonight, but Emerson Hancock, boy, was he on this evening. Great command of his fastball, great command of his secondary pitches, 14 punch-outs. Best start of his young career.
Amazing. Bizzardo has taken over. 0-2. Top of the order, Garcia. High target from Garver. And it just misses off the plate. Bizzardo has Garcia, Witt, and Pasquantino due up if anybody reaches Salvador Perez. 2-2. Softly popped up. Naylor, as this is kind of in a no man's territory, and Cole Young's right there, no problem. All three of them coming together, and the second baseman Cole Young makes the catch. Mariners TV is brought to you by Pemco, the insurance you get. Learn more at Pemco.com. And by your local Ford dealer, home the F-150, America's best-selling truck for 49 years. Beautiful night here in Seattle inside T-Mobile Park. Dangerous hitter at the plate, Bobby Witt Jr. Swinging strike one. Bizzardo trying to get this one to Munoz in the ninth with the lead. Oh, 2. Going right after Witt with a couple of fastballs.
We've seen all night long from Bobby Witt Jr. He's going up there ready to swing.
Witt singled back in the 6th. It's now a 13-game on-base streak for the Mariners star shortstop. Did I say Mariners star shortstop?
I think so.
Well, everybody wishes they had Bobby Witt Jr.
This is just a great slider from Bizzardo. Witt gets out there, unable to make contact. Royals now with 15 strikeouts on the evening.
And for a team that doesn't strike out a ton, pretty middle of the pack in that regard. Here's Pasquantino. So 2 outs and nobody on. Pasquantino a home run last night. Pumping strikes.
Call the strike and the hitter is challenging.
Pasquantino challenging. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Calls confirmed that Kansas City has 1 challenge.
So it is 0-2. Out towards shallow left to Rosarena. Lays out Randy Rosarena. Superman catch.
Bizzardo likes what he sees. A Rosarena with a tremendous jump, but this is an all-out dive. Complete and full extension. What a fantastic play by the left fielder. Sí, mi amigo, qué bueno.
Ball 1, our Steel scoreboard. Mariners would like to add on here. 2-1, they have the lead. It's Julio, Naylor, and Rosarena due up. Two nothing. Multi-hit night for Julio. A double and a single. He has scored one of the Mariners' 2 runs. Rivas scoring the other on a wild pitch.
Things have really turned around for Julio. Took him till his 15th game to get that first extra base hit.
Chopping to Witt, flattens out a little bit. One away. This smile moment brought to you by Delta Dental of Washington, supporting healthy smiles across Washington. Well, a lot of smiles with our tremendous pregame ceremony. The Mariners retiring number 51 for the second time. Ichiro and now the big unit. Here's Naylor. That's what it looks like swinging at 99. Just ripping out of the hand of Avila. Wow.
With some movement. That was a heavy sinker at 99 miles an hour.
Fly ball hanging up right field. 2 down. Mariners TV is brought to you by Northwest Buick GMC. See your Northwest GMC dealer today. And by Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. Earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply. Here's a Rosarena. All right, so all sinkers in theory sink. What makes a heavy? What makes a heavy sinker? Just the velocity?
It's the velocity and the movement. So I just think of Billy Swift, former Seattle Mariner, #1 pick. Swifty just had a heavy sinker. Gosh, I would have to sit on the outside part of the plate because his ball moves so much that it would end up on the inside part of the plate. Players refer to it as a bowling ball. It's like trying to hit a bowling ball. Just thud.
Just moving down and in so much more.
Correct.
Yeah, because we talk about two-seamers and we talk about sinkers. A sinker is a two-seamer, but a two-seamer is not necessarily a sinker.
Correct, because that two-seamer will run into it. Like if you're a right-handed pitcher throwing a two-seamer, it'll run into the hands of the right-handed hitter.
Well, this is slap Pasquantino's. The hot corner's been over at first tonight for the Royals, and Pasquantino handles that one. We march on to the 9th inning. It's a 1-run lead, and it's time for Andres Munoz inside T-Mobile Park. Tonight's Muckleshoot Casino Resort Pin Report. We're looking at the big unit's career 18 outings, maybe most notably Game 7 of the 01 World Series against the Yankees. A game that was started between Clemens and Schilling. It was Rivera and Johnson working the final innings in the third on both sides. And Randy, the winning pitcher in that one, as the D-backs beat the Yankees in the Fall Classic. Munoz takes over in the 9th. The Mariners are up by just a run. It has been Hancock for 7, Bizzardo working the 8th, and now Munoz in the 9th. Facing Salvador Perez. Inside out, line drive, base hit, and Perez tying run is aboard. He is the DH tonight, and they will run for him.
He comes in with the fastball, but it is right down the middle at 97. Perez pulling his hands inside and shooting it to the right side.
It's Lane Thomas who will run for Salvador Perez.
Munoz has been so good in his last 3 outings, not giving up a run and struck out 5.
They just ruled a balk on Munoz. That is the First box since 2024 for Munoz, and Dan Wilson is out now.
So do you think he was trying to trick the runner right there? To deceive him? Wow.
And that ends up putting Thomas, the tying run, in scoring position. This ball foul. Fifth balk of Munoz's career. Now, the Royals have been plagued this year with runners in scoring position, and now they're facing Munoz trying to close the door here in the ninth. 0-2.
This is a pitch that Jensen has had a hard time with all evening long. That high fastball right at the top of the zone at 98.
Well, base hit can tie this game now. Not a lot of wiggle room for Andres Munoz all of a sudden. The 0-2. He struck him out.
Little backdoor slider right here from Munoz. Right on the outside corner, and he gets Jensen out in front and waving again.
One out runner at second for Caglione. He hits this hard. It's into center field. Thomas around third. It gets past Julio. What happened? Caglione is on his way to third. Go ahead run 90 feet away. It's tied in the ninth.
Caglione rips this one out there into left center field. That was a strikeout just prior to it. This ball gets out towards Julio. Doesn't get any leather on that ball as it rolls all the way back to the wall. Julio having to go retrieve it. Didn't look like a Rosarena was moving that way.
A potentially costly mistake. Isaac Collins here. Infield is in. Go ahead run at third with one out. It's a blown save for Munoz and a 1-0 count for Collins. One and one. It was a leadoff single by Perez, who was lifted for the pinch runner Thomas, and then a block. That put Thomas in scoring position. Swinging bunt, and it is picked up fair. Out at first base. That was close. Ooh. Wow.
Good play by Munoz. He's having to come all the way to the line. The ball bounces straight down and just almost stops right there. That's a tough throw for Munoz to have to make right there, as Naylor gives him a good target on the inside part of the bag.
So 2 outs, and Caglione remains anchored over there at third. Michael Massey, the batter. Massey pops this up. Crawford out. Julio in, and he makes the catch. Caglione stranded, but this game is tied up. Caglione's base hit evens the score to the bottom of the ninth inning. Well, next week we've got a marquee interleague matchup coming your way. Less than $12 as the Braves come to town for a 3-game value series. Mariners.com/value game to lock in your seats Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to wrap up the homestand. A run wins it for the Mariners. The Royals able to tie it up off of Munoz, and now Matt Strahm working for the second straight game against the Mariners.
Strahm has appeared in 12 games, throwing 11 2/3 innings, giving up 5 earned runs, 14 strikeouts, and 6 walks.
Big lefty pocket for Strahm. And they want to challenge this right away.
Ball, and the catcher is challenging. Call's overturned. It is a strike. Kansas City has 1 challenge remaining.
Not by much, but a strike nevertheless to Young. Oh, and 2. Rob Refsnyder appears on deck. Canzone due up next. Dan saying the other day that Refsnyder's been working through some things. Looks like he has not been, or sounds like he has not been at exactly full strength recently. So good to see him available tonight. Into medium depth center is Bell there. Here is Rob Refsnyder.
Strahm's got a little bit of a Randy Johnson look, doesn't he?
You're right.
Here on Randy Johnson night.
Well, they want to talk over the pinch hitter. They'll have more new traffic coming up after Refsnyder. Connor Joe has appeared on deck, and he will bat for Rayleigh. Tied in the bottom of the 9th inning, 1 out. Refsnyder pinch hitting. On the ground, Garcia was in exactly the right spot. Pumps a strike over to first. 2 outs. Here comes Connor Joe. What a swing he put on this pitch last night.
Yeah, Danny Wilson's looking for another one of these here this evening as he hits his first home run as a Mariner. The ball going into the little Edgar's Pavilion up there in left field.
Joe batting here for Luke Rayleigh. 2 outs, nobody on, all tied in the bottom of the 9th inning. Dan's bench is basically empty now. Cal Raleigh is on the bench. He was scratched from the game. He is not looking available at all tonight. And then Johnny Pereda, they just recalled him from AAA. He's the backup catcher right now. 0-2 as Joe lost his helmet.
Joe is not getting cheated on his swings. 2 big rips at the first 2 pitches. First one was a fastball. This one is a slider. Down and in.
Fly ball out to Caglione in right field, and we are going to the 10th. nights thanks to T-Mobile. Don't miss out on 8 shows this summer with the fun kicking off Friday, May 29th. You can see the full calendar and get your tickets. Mariners.com/fireworks. All tied beginning the 10th inning. Man, the Mariners never able to add on, and a blown save in the 9th on a Caglione base hit. And now Cooper Criswell has the 10th. They'll face 9, 1, and 2 in the Royals order.
Criswell has thrown 14 in the 3rd innings, giving up 4 runs, 13 strikeouts, 3 walks over 11 games.
Automatic runner Michael Massey right behind him. Corners in on the grass. Isbell at the plate. Squares to bunt. Pulls back. Looks at a ball. Joe has taken over for Raley in right field. Pulls back again as the pitch misses. 2-0. You know, it's nights like this where I say, so you want to talk to me about starting pitcher win-loss record? Who wants to be the front of the line and defend this one?
Touche.
Hancock with one of the best start of his career and one of the most unique starts by any Mariner pitcher ever. He goes, a throw down to second and no throw to third. 2-2 as Massey swipes second, or swipes third, I beg your pardon.
Right as he bunts through it, the runner gets hung up in the middle, and he takes off as Garber ends up throwing the ball to Crawford.
That's a big 90 feet. Now the infield plays in. Quatrero coming out.
Not quite sure what he might have been arguing about right there.
Two. A huge first out. Isbell goes down swinging.
Well, after 2 missed bunts, Criswell throws that 2-seamer down and in. And you get Isbell to swing right over the top for the first out.
Big bats coming up now for Kansas City. Their leadoff man, Michael Garcia. He's challenging this.
He's called a strike. The hitter is challenging.
And it was a good challenge for Kansas City.
Overturned, calls the ball. Kansas City has 1 challenge remaining.
Garcia hitting .286 with runners in scoring position this year.
That time a strike over the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. He has driven in one of the 2 runs tonight for Kansas City. RBI double earlier. Go ahead run at third base for the Royals. 1 out, top of the 10th. 1-2.
Criswell goes up on top after throwing the sinker down and in. He gets Garcia to chase a pitch well out of the strike zone.
Soft fly ball. Julio is there to make the catch. Massey on his way home. The throw, and it's not in time. Just up the line to first base. A sacrifice fly, and the Royals take a 3-2 lead in the 10th inning.
Yeah, right off the bat, I thought this ball was going to be too shallow, but it continued to carry. Julio does a nice job of getting behind this ball and giving it everything he's got, trying to airmail it.
2 outs, nobody on. Here's Witt. Missing upstairs, 2-1. And on the hands. Royals tying the game in the 9th, taking the lead here in the 10th. Ground ball, Young ranging. Out number 3. It's on to the bottom of the 10th inning. The Mariners need 1 run to tie. They need 2 to win. Incredible night for Emerson Hancock. 14 strikeouts, a new career high. He did not walk a single batter tonight over 7 innings.
He was just in complete command of all of his pitches. That 4-seam was very effective at the cross the top of the zone.
Well, when you look at starts in Mariners history with 14 strikeouts and no walks on a night where the Mariners honor Randy Johnson, he did it twice, Kirby twice last year, Langston and Hancock. That's it. A remarkably short list. And this would be a real gut punch of a loss if the Mariners can't pull this one off when you consider that man's performance tonight. Connor Joe, the automatic runner at second. Garver leading things off and taking ball 1. Lucas Erceg is on the mound. He's got the bottom of the 10th for the Royals. If anybody reaches this inning, Julio would bat. Sorry, go ahead, Val.
I was going to say the Mariners tonight with runners in scoring position are just 2 for 4. Mitch with an opportunity right here.
2-2. Well, Garver batting here does kind of give you the idea that Cal Raleigh's not available to even hit tonight, right? If he could hit, you could have hit him for Garver, and then if the game went long beyond this, you could have Pareda catch. But Cal not showing up here lets you know that he's not available at all.
Yeah, again, yeah, we're concerned that we're hoping it's not serious, that maybe he just needed 1 full day. Cal's been in the lineup in each and every game here so far this season.
0-1 to Rivas. Over the plate at 98, 0-2. Joe the runner at second base. Now, the Mariners have sent the minimum to the plate in every inning since the 5th. In fact, they've sent the minimum to the plate in 6 of the first 9 innings. And Lugo had the bases loaded numerous times, and the Mariners could not cash in. And now they find themselves back in a corner here.
Yeah, the opportunities were there. One base running mistake hurt them with the bases loaded.
2-2. Way outside.
It was Rivas who scored the second run of the game with a great read when he was on third on a pass ball by the Royals catcher.
JP due up next. Now the Mariners find themselves down to their final out now.
Good fastball. See that movement on that two-seamer at 98 miles an hour, and Rivas just unable to catch up to it.
Strike one to Crawford. JP tied in franchise history of the most career walk-off hits all time by the Mariners. Evens the count. Joe the runner at second, Crawford at the plate. 2 outs. Last of the 10th, down a run. The Mariners down to their final strike now. If it continues beyond JP, Julio due up next. 2 home runs last night, 2 more hits today. Base hit can tie this one up in the bottom of the 10th inning. 1-2.
Versag really pounding the outside part of the plate, trying to stay away from JP's power.
Count stays put. He's rushing it home there, isn't he? 97, 98.
He's got that sneaky fastball too. A little bit of a short armor. That two-seamer really runs away from the left-handed hitter.
On the ground, Garcia gives room. Strong throw. Pasquantino cleans it up, and that is just a demoralizing loss tonight when you have one of the great starts in franchise history from Emerson Hancock of 14 strikeouts, 1 run, and no walks. The Mariners fail to add on, and they lose 3-2, and the Royals have won the series.
Yeah, it was a really waste of a phenomenal outing by Emerson Hancock. Going 7 innings, giving up just 1 run, 6 hits, and 14 strikeouts. A great night for that young man, and unfortunately the Mariners just could not put the numbers up on the board.
And they will try to salvage the series tomorrow. Day baseball as usual. 3-2 Royals win it. Mariners postgame starts in 90 seconds.
Welcome to Mariners postgame. Royals take this one 3-2 in 10th. 1 in the 9th, 1 in the 10th to snatch victory away from the Mariners.